There's an open request from Austin ISD's Equity Office for a third-party equity assessment of the district. Do you support an independent equity assessment for AISD? If not, why? If so, how do you hope that the district can implement this information? We're going to go to John, then Ophelia, and then Andy.
Does the district need a third-party equity audit? I think the contract for the equity office needs to be established and made permanent. I think the people in the equity office need to be able to feel safe in their jobs enough to help the equity audit, third-party equity audit continue. I think there needs to be a third-party equity audit that can follow the finances in the bond proposals, that can follow the finances and the process for FABPAC, that can sort of like discuss the way the boundaries are created, that allow some houses to be rated in neighborhoods neighborhoods connected to great schools that let know our higher research value, real estate values. I think an equity audit is key to be able to understand what ails the district, and it needs to be treated that way, like the key way to understand how to go forward. Now in COVID-19, when the inequalities between families who've never had a tablet and families who throw away tablets has been made clear, we need to have an equity audit that helps us move out of that situation to think about the kinds of resources we'll need when COVID-19 is a pandemic, is chronic in our situation, to be able to get people to move back and forth between tablets and schools. So yes, there needs to be a third-party equity audit, but there also needs to be education across schools to help understand what an equity audit is. It isn't just finances, it's also people's investments and sweat equity that they've put into schools, and that needs to be accounted in there, and people need to be given the skills to understand what an equity audit is.
Thank you.
Equity audit plus education.
Thank you. Now to Ophelia. Do you support an independent equity assessment for AISD? If not, why? If so, how do you hope that the district can implement this information?
Yes, I do support a third-party equity audit, and I think it's good to have someone outside of the district to be real open to everything that they need to review. The audit, I think, also would help us to see where our resources are being spent that are really not producing any results. For example, there's a big group of partners in education that have probably been getting grants from the district year after year after year. Well, I would really like that to be audited to see what has that done to help our students learn at high levels? What has it done to keep our students return? Because we keep hearing all the students we're losing to charter schools or losing for affordable housing. I think this audit could help us find out where we need to reinvest dollars, and we don't have to be hearing that there's a shortfall for special ed, there's a shortfall for paying hero pay. That I think this audit is very important to help us identify resources that we could reinvest in our schools and the gaps that need to be filled. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Andy?
Yes, I do support the third-party equity audit. I think that the equity office needs to be permanent because once this audit is complete, we're going to need somebody to kind of monitor and to kind of see how things progress at going forward to ensure that we are meeting those requirements. Certainly, I think that what we may discover in that audit is nothing that we probably didn't already know, but just like everything else, it all comes down to implementation. And I think that's where the equity office can really support and make sure that implementation gets done. I think that that as a district, this is something that's been long needed. People kind of talk about it, but nothing's really been done concrete. So I think that this is a key step for ASD really moving forward in understanding our district and to really help us to gain back those students that we may have lost to charter schools as well.